On this unusual day in a large city amusement park, something happened that changed not only one person's life, but also made many people rethink their actions. No one expected that an ordinary family quarrel would escalate into something more, and certainly no one could have guessed that Spider-Man himself would appear exactly where he was needed the most. This story is about how a superhero can save people not only from supervillains, but also from everyday human cruelty. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to leave a comment and tell us if you've ever been helped by a stranger in a difficult moment. And tomorrow at 12 o'clock, I'll share an even more incredible story about how one superhero changed the life of an entire city. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. It was a warm spring day, and the city amusement park was packed with visitors. Peter Parker, known to the world as Spider-Man, was perched atop one of the rides, watching what was happening below. He often spent his time this way, quietly observing people, ready to help at a moment's notice. Today he noticed an unusual family, a mother with 2 teenage children, a boy and a girl who were clearly twins, around 14 years old. Something's off, Peter thought, noticing the tension between them. The woman looked exhausted, her shoulders slumped, and the children stood a little apart, exchanging occasional glances. Next to them stood a tall man who seemed to be their stepfather. His loud voice and abrupt gestures made the children flinch. "I told you, no rides!" The stepfather's voice boomed across the park. "You've already spent enough money on these stupid tickets. You should have stayed home doing homework." The mother tried to intervene. "John, please," we agreed. "It's their birthday today. I don't care. I'm the one who earns the money, so I decide how it's spent." The stepfather grabbed the boy by the shoulder, making him wince in pain. Peter felt his heart clench. He remembered his Uncle Ben and his words about great power coming with great responsibility. Sometimes that responsibility isn't just about stopping a supervillain, it's about protecting ordinary people from ordinary human cruelty. With a swift move, Spider-Man jumped down, landing right in front of the family. "Hey, I was just looking for someone to give these 2 tickets to the coolest ride. Looks like I found the perfect people who need them," he said, extending the tickets to the twins. "Spider-Man?" the girl gasped, her eyes widening in surprise. "In the flesh! And you know what? I overheard that someone's celebrating a birthday today. And I just love birthdays, especially when you can give a truly special gift." The stepfather turned red with anger. "Listen here, mask wearer! Don't stick your nose in other people's family business." "Oh, I'm not interfering," Spider-Man replied, doing a backflip and landing on a lamppost. "I just figured everyone deserves a happy birthday. And you know, my Aunt May always said that true strength lies in kindness, not in making others feel small." Spider-Man's words made the crowd that had gathered fall silent. Many took out their phones to record the scene, but Peter paid no attention to them. His gaze was focused on the family in front of him. "You know," he continued, swaying on a web, "I used to be just a kid who wanted to make his loved ones happy. And you know what I realized? Sometimes adults forget what it's like to be young. They forget that every birthday isn't just a date, it's a chance to create a memory that will last a lifetime." The boy, who had been silent until that moment, suddenly spoke up. We just wanted to feel normal for once. Like all the other kids." "Normal?" Spider-Man repeated, jumping down next to the boy. "Let me tell you a secret. I know a guy who got superpowers from a spider bite. Is that normal? But do you know what really makes us special? It's not our abilities or our skills, it's how we treat other people." The stepfather tried to interrupt, but unexpectedly the mother stepped between him and the children. There was a new resolve in her eyes that hadn't been there before. "John," she said firmly, "it's their day. And I'm not going to let you ruin it anymore." "Mom," the girl whispered, grabbing her brother's hand. Spider-Man watched the scene, ready to intervene at any moment. But something in the air had changed. People around them started moving closer, forming an invisible wall of support. "I work in the park," a woman in the crowd suddenly said. "And I have 2 free tickets for the Ferris wheel." They're yours. And I have coupons for cotton candy, shouted a nearby vendor. The stepfather looked around, seeing strangers one by one offering help and support. His face changed. Anger gave way to confusion, then shame. Without a word, he turned and left. Spider-Man landed next to the twins. See? Sometimes being a hero just means being kind. And sometimes it takes just one person willing to stand up for what's right to change the world. Thank you, the mother said, tears shining in her eyes. You didn't just save our day. You helped me find a strength I thought I'd lost. Hey, it's my job to help people. And you know what? I think this will be the best birthday ever. The day at the amusement park continued. The twins, surrounded by the unexpected kindness of strangers, could finally just be kids. Their laughter echoed through the park, spreading joy and reminding everyone of an important truth: heroes aren't only in costumes and masks. That evening, sitting atop the tallest ride and watching the sunset, Peter Parker smiled beneath his mask. With great power comes great responsibility, he murmured, recalling Uncle Ben's words. And sometimes that responsibility is just helping people believe in themselves. Down below, in the park, the story of how Spider-Man stood up for a family had already spread across social media. But more importantly, it touched people's hearts, reminding them that each of us can be a hero in our own way. Perhaps the next time someone witnesses an injustice, they'll remember this day and find the courage to stand up for what's right. Because the real superpower isn't wall crawling or web slinging. It's the ability to see the good in others and help them see it in themselves. And as for the twins, they'll remember this birthday forever. Not because of the rides or the gifts, but because on that day, they learned that heroes do exist. Sometimes they wear masks, and sometimes they're just smiling at you from behind an ice cream counter. Remember, you don't have to be Spider-Man to change someone's life. Sometimes, simply being human is enough.